Again, I think what you kind of take away from this is just like how Diddy's mind works a little bit. You see him strategizing with his attorneys about social media reach and thinking already ahead of before he's even arrested.
Something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to it.
Guys, this is nuts. Sean Diddy Combs was still filming himself a week before he got arrested, months after the feds had already raided and taken all his tapes. And somehow that footage got to 50 Cent, who's now put it in his Netflix documentary.
I was a party favor.
What does that mean?
I was a party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children on a table.
Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them,
Yep.
and they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak off parties, they put children on the table instead of gift bags, and then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have you, even though it's against the rules to do certain things, like their full health. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter.
This was a project people had been waiting on for years, and one some folks were praying would never drop. The documentary is titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning, and it's executive produced by Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. The film pulls together decades of stories, interviews, and public records to expose a side of Diddy that most viewers never expected to see on a mainstream platform. And the timing? Perfect storm. The documentary landed right when Diddy was already under intense scrutiny, facing multiple civil lawsuits and a federal criminal case. Even though he has denied all allegations, the release sparked a fresh wave of debate, not just because of the claims, but because so many people finally agreed to speak on camera. Voices that had stayed quiet for years suddenly weren't silent anymore. But one section of the documentary is grabbing more attention than anything else. Witnesses and former insiders describe young women who were allegedly manipulated, pressured, or trapped in environments they never should have been in. These are allegations, not proven facts, and the documentary makes it clear that investigations are still ongoing. Still, the testimonies made viewers pause, and that's where the tension between 50 Cent and Diddy hits a new level, because Diddy claims this entire project was meant to take him down. Netflix says it simply followed the legal process, while 50 Cent insists he just wanted the truth out in the open.
They did. Netflix and 50 Cent just pulled the curtain back on one of the most disgusting and powerful men in entertainment, Diddy, and what they reveal is darker than anything I think any of us imagined. Secret hotel room footage, a $200 million money move, new witnesses, and allegations that will change how you think of Diddy forever. This is The Reckoning on Netflix. We're talking about it today. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tom Zenner. This is Tom Zenner Scandal. You're watching 1 Degree of Scandalous. I'm the co-host along with the one and only Kato, K-Train, Kaylin. Kayla, I want to get into this right away. You and I both watched this thing, as did millions and millions and millions of people. I got to tell you, I couldn't wait for it to end. It made me sick. It disgusted me. You know, usually a Netflix doc is so captivating, and this was so well done. Kudos to 50 Cent. You are a hero in my mind, 50 Cent. You really are. We're going to get into this, but I couldn't wait for it to end. I just had a sick feeling about me that this guy, Diddy, got away with this crap for 35 years, and we're going to get into all of the new revelations today and talk about potential implications. But how did you feel watching this thing?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom, I had no interest in Diddy at all. I had nothing. It was like another Diddy story. As soon as I watched the opening scene of him in the hotel room talking, I was captivated. I feel like it was 50 Cent was like on SEAL Team 6. He went in, he got the footage from this videographer, and it was so compelling. It is, like you said, It is so well done. And all 4 episodes, you're on the edge of your seat. I watched it in one sitting, which I rarely do. And well, I'm telling you, my opinion completely is different of Diddy. I thought, oh, this guy's probably, okay. I met him one time or maybe twice at the Playboy Mansion. I would not want to have any association with this person at all. The way that he used, which we're going to get into, how he used his friends. It's just like everything you're taught when you grow up of being a good person, he did the opposite.
Yeah. Everybody he touched, he destroyed. If you came into Diddy's periphery and his life, your life is over as you know it. You were facing violence, potential death, extortion, entrapment. This guy, and you know what? The doc did a good job of showing how he evolved, right? And his background, which doesn't excuse anything, but I learned a lot from this that we're gonna get into. And I guess, Kato, before we get into like the top 10 things that we're gonna reveal from this, and by the way, you don't have to be a hip hop or rap fan. This is a crime. This is true crime at the core. And we're dealing with a true monster, all right? Ryan Murphy might have his next one right here, Monster Diddy. But Kato, do you think they have Netflix available in prison? Because I wonder if, what the reaction with his prison mates are going to be when they see this.
That's a great question. I think that any visitor coming in is probably telling him, if he hasn't seen it, and this is probably their last visit to see him, saying, you are a POS, a piece of. And like I said, this deals with, Tom, not only just extortion of money, never paying thing, possible.
The documentary premiered the week of December 2nd, 2025. 4 episodes, each nearly an hour long, directed by Alex Stapleton and executive produced by 50 Cent, and it instantly took over online conversations. Netflix stood by the project, saying every piece of footage was legally cleared. Diddy and his legal team strongly disagreed. They argued the documentary was unfair, biased, and even claimed it used footage without permission. They reportedly sent Netflix a letter calling the series misleading, but instead of slowing things down, the backlash only made more people tune in. The first episode opens with a scene filmed just 6 days before Diddy's arrest in 2024. He's in a hotel room speaking to his lawyer, saying he's fighting for his life. His team says that footage was stolen. The filmmakers say they obtained it after the arrest. That alone caused a storm, but what followed really stopped people cold. The doc features interviews with former staff, security, collaborators, and people once close to Diddy's inner circle. Some described an environment built on power and access. Others claimed young women were pressured into situations they didn't fully understand. Several witnesses said they saw girls who looked extremely young. One former worker even said many of the women coming in and out of Diddy's properties looked barely in their early 20s. Again, these are claims, and Diddy denies everything, but hearing all of these accounts together painted a picture that shocked even longtime fans. At the center of it all is one big question: how did so many people stay silent for so long?
So you have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky all of the stuff that he's doing. I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Keefy D said they paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
It's a little, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries, they went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way, according to them. You know, and look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt.
50 Cent didn't make the documentary alone, but his name is the one everyone keeps circling back to. For years, he'd publicly said he wanted to expose what he believed the industry refused to confront. When Diddy passed on producing his own controlled documentary, Netflix turned to 50 Cent's team. Critics say it was personal. Supporters say it was necessary. What's undeniable is this: his involvement changed everything. People who had wanted to speak for years suddenly felt safe enough to do so. Some said no platform ever took their story seriously before. Once 50 Cent came on board, there was money, visibility, and most importantly, courage.
Netflix docuseries about Sean Diddy Combs is making headlines for its never-before-seen footage of the music mogul in the days before his arrest. Now, Combs is threatening legal action against the streamer for airing the unauthorized footage. Behind the series is Combs' longtime rap rival 50 Cent and director Alexandria Stapleton, who sat down with NBC News' Chloe Malas ahead of tonight's release.
Tonight, Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday. Behind the explosive documentary is Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alexandria Stapleton.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
The recordings give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he used that for.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a man who films himself doing everything and has for decades. I think he wanted someone to be behind the scenes with him.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News today, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix. Netflix referring NBC News to a statement from Stapleton in which she said they lawfully obtained the footage. After a nearly 8-week trial, Combs was acquitted of the more serious charges of trafficking and racketeering and sentenced to 50 months in federal prison for 2 counts of transportation to engage in. Combs' team going on to slam Netflix for partnering with 50 Cent, who they say has been his longtime public adversary, something the Grammy winner denied, citing his own casting choices in his popular Stars franchise, Power.
One could watch this and think that you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram, because of the...
Look at this, and let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
This documentary is one of several that has chronicled Combs' rise and fall, but Stapleton says theirs is different.
There's a lot of new information. No one had ever really put it together like that before.
For 50 Cent, he says he feels a sense of obligation.
Well, you know, if I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions.
And Chloe Malas joins us now in studio. Chloe, you've seen the whole documentary. What else can you tell us about it?
So there's a lot more of this never-before-seen footage, Tom, of Combs having really private conversations with his legal team, and you really got a sense of his mindset ahead of his criminal trial, which is really fascinating for me because he never did any sit-down interviews ahead of the trial. So you finally get to see what his strategy was and how worried he was. But clearly, perhaps he didn't think that he was going to go to prison because he's filming this documentary. You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the death of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs's inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
50 Cent doesn't appear much on camera, but his presence is felt throughout the series. He helped secure interviews, provided resources, and opened doors that allowed the director to dig into details never explored publicly before. One of the biggest moments comes in episode 3, where testimonies describe young women allegedly manipulated through promises of careers, travel, or financial help. None of the women are named and their identities are protected, but the emotional weight of their stories hits hard. Some said they were invited to events and later realized they couldn't leave. Others said they felt pressured to go along because their careers were on the line. A few mentioned seeing other girls who appeared extremely young. That raised one haunting question: did they really have a choice? This is where many viewers say the documentary shifted from shocking to heartbreaking. After the release, Diddy's legal team fired back immediately, calling the footage unfair, the interviews one-sided, and the entire project a hit job fueled by his rivalry with 50 Cent. They also claimed Netflix ignored their warnings. Netflix responded by standing firm, saying everything was legally approved and no one was paid to damage Diddy's reputation. But the real battle exploded online.
Like 3 or 4 pictures in the documentary that I've seen of myself. You know, some people say they saw more, but I know three different times where I was certain places that you could actually see me in the documentary, and that's the only thing you're gonna get. But the stories that they told in the documentary, bruh, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more. So I ain't in the documentary because that lady that was the director, I think, what's her name? Alex, you know, Alex Stapleton, you know her name, Mighty? Yo, Mighty, just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna look this up, all right? Okay, her name is Alex Stapleton. The director that I spoke to was Alex Stapleton. She was the one who told me that she was the director, she was the producer, whatever, this, that, and the third, the whole 9 yards, and she was talking mad greasy to me. And listen here, it's no matter, after you talk that kind of talk to me, it's no amount of money she could have paid me anyway for me to get in there. You know, my story is more too valuable, you know, getting in the depth or getting in depth with this whole stuff, and it would have helped that documentary a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? In actuality, they used all the stuff that I told them and did it the way that I was saying do it. Tim Dog started off with the childhood with Puff and the whole 9 yards. Kirk Burrows do the business part, but they was trying to put people in there like Mark Curry and other people to talk about the streets or what was going on, you know, a certain thing. But Mark can only say so much, you know what I'm saying, because he was an artist, you know, so he wasn't with Puff like I was with him during that time when we was running back and forth here and there and the whole 9 yards. So, you know, Miss Alex Stapleton is the one reason why I'm not in the documentary, but it's all right with me. I've been in a lot of documentaries. I did The Shine, I did the A&E, I did the Discovery Channel, I did the Fox. You know, I've been in a whole lot of different documentaries, and I'm always on the Art of Dialogue. So the people been getting most of the information from here anyway.
Yeah, man, you always on here, man. Always got to bring you on. So with that being said, man, I want to get right into the documentary, man. How you feel about the documentary, man? The behind the scenes footage they got of Diddy leading up to him getting arrested, and how you feel about all that, man?
Well, what I feel about the documentary, they left a whole lot of key things out. If they was going to do something and they're going to say in the reckoning of Sean Combs, the reckoning, or Diddy, the reckoning and stuff like that, it should have been a lot of people that we lost because of him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't only Big, it wasn't only Tupac, you understand? For the atmosphere that he put those kids in. You got a guy named Anthony Wolf Jones, who was from Bad Boy, from its conception as doing security and being one of the financiers of Puff having to have some money to keep Big and Craig Mack around.
50 Cent began posting clips, jokes, and comments hinting that the truth was finally surfacing. Diddy's supporters accused him of exploiting the moment, while Diddy, through his lawyers, said the documentary was spreading false information. This quickly became one of the biggest celebrity media clashes of the decade because it wasn't just about allegations anymore. It was about power, image, and who controls the narrative. One side says the truth was buried for years. The other says the story is being twisted on purpose. But the focus kept coming back to the young women whose voices were featured. The documentary does not name underage victims, as it legally can't without consent or verified proof. However, it includes multiple testimonies that strongly suggest the involvement of girls who were underage or extremely young at the time. One former employee said, "Many girls who visited Diddy's properties appeared too young and looked uncomfortable around older men." A viral post on X added fuel to the fire, saying the more the user watched, the more disturbing the pattern became, claiming Diddy didn't just pursue women, but targeted women connected to powerful men around him, networking for leverage rather than connection. The post named women linked to men in his circle and questioned his friendships, suggesting a pattern driven by ego, power, and control, not attraction.
Party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children on a table.
Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them, yep. And they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak-off parties, mm-hmm. They put children on the table instead of gift bags, mm-hmm. And then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have with you, even though it's against the rules to do certain things like their full house. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter. That did not matter.
So they come choose you off the table, do whatever they want with you, and then what happens?
Then they put you back on the table.
They put you back on the table for somebody else to come choose you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's called a party favor effect. That's just one of the little things that go on at the freak-off parties with children. Were there animals there?
Mm-hmm. Goats.
Did they turn the animals loose on the kids?
Yeah.
And if you got sick and threw up because it was so disgusting, what happened?
You had to eat it.
You had to eat your vomit if you threw up. That's satanic ritual. Diddy was at this party?
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington was at this party?
Yep.
Birdman was at this party?
Yes, he was.
And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie, socks, and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was... He had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it. In front of children.
Yep.
Funny. Because he sure portrays himself to be holier than thou.
Yep. So a lot of them do.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
So one of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh.
Yep.
Did you have interactions with Diddy?
Yep.
Denzel? And I know we don't tell on Denzel. You might not tell on Denzel, but your mama gonna tell on everybody. I ain't keeping no secrets. Denzel?
Yep.
Birdman? Did Birdman promise you things?
So much. Like what he promised Lil Wayne at a young age. Because you know we shared the system together. Share a birthday together too.
I know a lot of you have seen P. Diddy get guardianship of.
An anonymous woman described an experience from her teenage years, saying she felt pressured to stay at an event that looked nothing like what she'd been promised. Another witness recalled seeing girls dressed in ways that made them look even younger, saying the atmosphere felt strange and unsafe. A singer from another documentary said she believed she saw underage girls at a party, and her testimony resurfaced after the reckoning dropped, adding more pressure to the conversation. The documentary also references past lawsuits, including cases involving women who claimed they were under 18 at the time. Some cases were dropped, some are still active, and others were never proven. But when all these stories are placed side by side, a clear theme emerges. Many of these women felt they had no voice, no power, and no protection. And that's the part viewers can't shake.
I want to get a lawyer on to sort of confirm it, but I gotta be honest, I'm kind of shocked. You'd think, well, this should all be included, should it not?
Listen to me, I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said, let's just, here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is...
Like, the way he's bossing around these high-powered lawyers is so revealing.
Part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer...
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Oh, he's loving this.
Jackson, titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
We knew that was coming, by the way, because we learned that throughout, as he was using his own kids to post birthday messages and etc. Like, this guy wants to control everything.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
He's like, oh yeah, look at all these. This wasn't shot. Yeah, what's up? Let me shake your hands. Yeah, I'll take this. He thrives in this. This is, yeah, when people recognize him, he seems to. What up? Like, barely even there. He's like, yeah, everybody's here looking at me. He's like the quarterback that can never graduate, it feels like to me.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
I've been in the streets amongst people. I gotta take a bath. He's like horrified. He's disgusted by it.
Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
I have to do it. Not like, oh, that was so great, I loved it. I have to do it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
He's got to take those 150 hugs. Now, that's when she asked, like, 50 Cent, why'd you include this?
Like, I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it shows you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like, that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
I think he does that a lot, surprisingly. I think he just lives his life with cameras. He was filming his most intimate moments, allegedly, with these freak-offs, right? Revealing his true self and the most, aggressive side of himself. He didn't care.
I respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? Is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like, maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important
And she chimes in too, but I want to, just before we hear her pop, he says, what a feud. I put 2 of his kids in my scripted TV shows. I just didn't like, he said fruity S to me, and he said fruity S to me. I don't like that, LOL. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. He just said it, I think, very clearly. Look, he was testing me. Are you in? Are you in to play? Are you going to play along with me? Can I have some fun with you? I do think clearly was it. Can you be my Paul? You know, is what he's trying to.
One of the most powerful parts of the documentary isn't just the allegations, it's the silence around them. For decades, Diddy was one of the most powerful figures in music and entertainment. Speaking against him could mean losing access, opportunity, or even safety. That fear kept people quiet. In The Reckoning, insiders finally explain how the industry protected itself long before it protected young women or vulnerable artists. A former manager said the business runs on relationships, and anyone who disrupts the system risks being shut out completely. Others admitted they witnessed moments that made them uncomfortable, but convinced themselves it wasn't their place to step in. Contracts, careers, and connections came first. Some even said they assumed legal teams would intervene if anything was truly wrong, so they stayed silent.
Entries by this point. Diddy and 50 Cent have had a long-standing beef, and 50 Cent was trolling Diddy throughout the entire trial. Those AI memes on his Instagram were crazy work, but this doc also has something else. It has never before seen footage of Diddy right up to the point he was arrested, and we also hear from 2 of the jurors. In July, just a reminder, Diddy was convicted on 2 charges of transportation to engage in but found not guilty of the more serious charges, that's racketeering with conspiracy and trafficking. He is now serving a 50-month prison sentence and has said he will appeal. In a cease and desist letter sent on Monday, lawyers for Mr. Combs demanded that Netflix withdraw the series, contending the footage had been illicitly provided to the streaming service in violation of contractual agreements. The letter asserted that running the footage would be a copyright violation and that it likely contained privileged communications between Mr. Combs and his legal counsel. Netflix say the footage was legally obtained. Just a warning, this episode contains strong language and content some listeners might find upsetting. If you have been a victim of or you want some support, details of help and support are available at bbc.co.uk/action line. Today, I'm very happy to say that we have Cheyenne Roundtree, Rolling Stone's senior investigative reporter, joining us once again. Welcome back, Cheyenne.
Hi, good to see you.
It's lovely to have you back. We've had the end of a trial, you got married, there's been a lot going on, but here we are, something that 50 Cent promised, he's delivered upon. It is a long documentary, 4 hours, 4 parts. The wildest thing to me is the footage of Diddy just days before his arrest, talking to his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. Listeners will know Mark Agnifilo was lead counsel, and he led the closing arguments, which finished 2 rounds of applause at the trial. In the footage, Diddy's making plans, calling people involved in the case, cases against him, civil cases and the federal case. It really is extremely intimate. Cheyenne, tell us some of the stuff that we see.
Where to begin? I think what you kind of take away from this is just like how Diddy's mind works a little bit. You see him strategizing with his attorneys about social media reach and thinking already ahead of before he's even arrested how to reach potential jurors. And he's telling his team, like, don't just be going on CNN. You got to meet the audience, the potential jurors where they're at. You have to go on Instagram and TikTok. And then he pivots later and he does a tour of Harlem, his old neighborhood, and he's hanging out with people. He's smiling. He's taking shots at bars. Like, he's really immersing himself back where he grew up with the people that, you know, he kind of his hometown, his home turf. And then he gets in a car and he's like, I gotta have some hand sanitizer, I have to take a bath. And then another one, you see a lawsuit from Don Richard drop, and that was one of his former artists at Diddy Dirty Money. And you see him react in real time to someone accusing him of misconduct, of battery, of groping her, of alleging things that happened during her time in the group. And you see him react and rage in real time, and the wheels start spinning of how do we counteract this? And he has his lawyers dig up old clips of her saying how much she loved this time. And so it's just this real kind of veil lift of how his mind was working 6 days, literally 6 days before he was arrested in that very same hotel room he was strategizing with his team.
Don Richard accused him of grabbing and groping her, of being inappropriate, of witnessing against Cassie, of being basically a boss. And I mean, he flat out denied this from the beginning of that lawsuit being filed, but we see the response there.
When it's filed, when someone says this happened XYZ, and you know that they had a close relationship, obviously his team will deny that this happened, but you see him deny it in that moment, saying this is lies. He curses, and he adamantly rejects her entire account, and in real time is like, this didn't happen. And it's kind of interesting to see someone react to accusations.
The documentary also highlights how media platforms, award shows, and outlets celebrated Diddy for years without questioning the rumors behind the scenes. Many sensed something was off, but no one wanted to challenge a brand that big. By the time lawsuits finally surfaced, years of warning signs were already buried. It raises an uncomfortable question. How many people saw the signs and chose comfort over accountability? And how many of those choices left young women feeling like they had no way out? Sean Combs' The Reckoning forced open a door the industry worked hard to keep shut. Love it or hate it, the conversation it sparked can't be ignored. For the first time, voices from different decades are speaking at once, describing a system many say was built to protect the powerful.
Apparently in 2023, Netflix either approached or there was a conversation between Netflix and Diddy's team about doing a documentary in 2023. Now, Cassie's lawsuit was filed in November of 2023. We don't know if this is before or after, but clearly a conversation about a documentary happened at some point. Cut to September 2024, Diddy is planning his own documentary, or he's planning something to use with the footage for a later thing. Who knows what, but we can assume that it's for a project down the line, capturing what's happening. And he hired a videographer to capture these intense moments. He tells the videographer to get shots of policemen across the street on a rooftop, kind of almost directing this footage, building up to this narrative of, hopefully winning this case and beating this and showing this pressure he was under. But somehow that footage that was being taken landed up at Netflix, and Netflix said that they obtained it legally. They went at lengths to hide who the person is, and they say they were within their complete rights to have obtained this footage and to air it. Diddy's team, like you said, is saying no, he never authorized this to be used in this manner.
And the idea that there was a conversation between Diddy and Netflix comes from the cease and desist letter by his legal representation saying, you doing this is vindictive because he didn't go into business with you. Now you've gone to 50 Cent, who is denying that there's a feud now, which is quite funny. You've gone to 50 Cent, who has been a long time, shall we say, hater or critic of Diddy, to exec produce this. That's clearly corporate retribution. But they've also called it a shameful hit piece. They say, as Netflix and CEO Ted Sarandos know, Mr. Combs has been amassing footage since he was 19 to tell his own story in his own way. I mean, Diddy has always been fond, and I'm not making a joke here about the freak-offs, he has always been fond of recording himself.
Yeah, when you look at the archives of what he's done, there's archival footage, there is newspaper clippings, and he did his own documentary about Bad Boy Reunion tour that happened in 2016, that released in 2017. There's another, he's always had someone around filming him, whether it's for social media or for maybe just footage for eventually whenever he does a huge telling of his life again. So it's not strange that he was filming himself during this time. Why wouldn't you? But it's also just kind of startling to see. It's something that was clearly not meant to be released just yet by kind of who he calls an adversary.
They say if Netflix cared about the truth or his legal rights, they wouldn't rip private footage out of context, and conversations with his lawyers, which we're going to touch on in a minute about what that means. But we approached Netflix to respond to the allegation that the footage was stolen. They said the claims being made about Sean Combs' The Reckoning are false. The project has no ties to any past conversations between Sean Combs and Netflix. The footage of Combs leading up to his indictment and arrest were legally obtained. Speaking about the footage, the documentary's director, Alexandra Stapleton, said, "It came to us, we obtained the footage legally, and we have the necessary rights. There is a question here about privileged information. For listeners not au fait with that terminology, what does that mean?
Diddy continues to deny every allegation. His lawyers insist all encounters were consensual and say he never harmed anyone. They call the documentary unfair. Netflix says everything was legally approved, and 50 Cent says the truth is finally being exposed. But the real question isn't about celebrities anymore. It's about the young women who say they felt cornered, misled, or manipulated. If their stories are true, what does that say about the world they were pulled into? And now that this documentary is out and these voices are being heard, one question lingers. What happens when the next wave of witnesses decides to speak? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss what's next. And until then, fam, keep it real.